Canada has some of the strictest gun ownership laws in the Western world, yet criminals say finding a gun has never been easier. So as part of our new series, The Gun Chase, I set out to get one legally and to see how easy or difficult it would be. So I enrolled in a firearms safety course, a requirement for getting a license. It's an intense 3 days learning about gun laws and gun safety.
And then you would have to be approved by the RCMP, by the federal authorities. Then if so approved and you've completed all the requirements, you will get a license and fire.
I'd never even held a gun before, so this was a nerve-wracking experience. I passed the test and set off to file my application. So it's supposed to take a few months to get a license. And while I wait, I head over to Target Sports to meet with J.R. Cox, a gun rights advocate who owns ranges and stores across Canada. So why do people want guns? What are they using them for?
They're using them for sport, right? They're buying firearms for sport, for target shooting, hunting, long-range shooting. Like, they're not buying them to put them under their pillow for self-defense. Perfect. Okay. Now put the gun down. And take a look where you hit.
I did pretty good.
You did pretty good.
I did pretty good. The guns, I anticipated them being heavy, right? I knew that they were going to be heavy, but just how hard it was to actually hit a stationary target.
Well, that's also why people have to practice. You know, I always tell people, if it was so easy, it wouldn't be an Olympic sport. Hey, so all that was.
So having a gun is a big responsibility. How strict are the rules really?
There's I think, the right amount of diligence, and then you get a firearms license. All of your information goes into the CPIC, so the Canadian Police Information Computer System. The Firearms Center gets a report every day on every firearm owner. And so if there's an issue, if your name pops up on a police report because you're tagged because you have a firearms license, boom, a report will come out. So you could have just been a witness in an accident. You come up, and they will look to see whether they need to investigate you further. So unlike the sex registry, which doesn't have the same scrutiny, we're moving on to the revolver.
Once you're licensed, you're on the police's radar.
Sure you go,
and that's after you get your license. Who is the government trying to prevent from getting a gun?
On the face of it, they're trying to prevent mentally unstable people, people with criminal backgrounds, people who have some flag that would indicate that they're a potential danger to themselves or other people.
According to Statistics Canada, 75% of deaths by gun are suicides, suggesting mental health is at least as serious of a concern when issuing a license as criminality. Given the intensive background checks and the level of scrutiny license holders face, it isn't surprising that very few criminals go this route.
You watch of all the shootings going on, and there's been a rash of shootings. Not one of them was a licensed, legal firearms owner.
Even the head of Toronto's Guns and Gangs unit concedes most of the guns they come across aren't registered to licensed firearms holders.
Illegally possessed is pretty much every time that we seize firearms. So the people that are possessing them are not the ones that would go and register and get a PAL license to own a firearm.
It's been 8 months since I started my process of becoming a licensed firearms holder, and I still don't have my license. Clearly, criminals are getting their guns a faster and likely illegal way. And that's something that we'll examine tomorrow in the next episode of The Gun Chase.